you can't help but be amazed by this moving circus. You go from town to town and people cheer you up. You feel like you're someone. You're in the car waving to guys. Millions of guys. Roadside. And it's kind of exciting, isn't it? and there's all the excitement. There's I was a young journalist at the time, and so the riders were my age. So you had kind of a connection, and then I grew and grew older, and I could have been their father, so I had a different relationship with them. Now I could be their granddad, I could be the dad of the DSs. So, but I mean, it's kind of, there's kind of a Tour de France family, and that's kind of a token of how could I say, emotionally involved people are with the Tour de France. Is that there's not a single ex-rider that doesn't, who doesn't try to come back on the Tour de France in some capacity, as a driver, as a consultant, work for a sponsor. I mean, you go to the Village des Pas in the morning, there's about 80 or probably 100 ex-pros doing something there. Yeah, the Tour de France is addictive. It's sometimes, July is kind of synonymous of the Tour de France for a Frenchman. So that's how I got involved in that.
Well, let's start from the very beginning. Well, that was a little segment from the episode a couple of episodes ago, the history of the Tour de France. I recorded that with Francois Thomazeau while I was over there at the Tour de France, an opportunity I couldn't resist and a great opportunity for me to learn about that great race. Also for you guys, if you haven't heard that episode, go back and listen to that one, because this is Talking Luft, the Tour de France History Edition. Welcome to the podcast, guys. Great to be back here. Great to be back on Talking Luft. I'm going to explain a little bit about this episode just in a minute, but I want to make mention the World Championships are on right now over in Glasgow, and our partner in the podcast, Rafa, they've gone to Glasgow. They've got their pop-up store over at LA on Cochrane Street. They'll be there all the way until the 13th. They've got food, they've got coffee, limited edition products. There's no ticket required, so get across there and check it out. I wish I could get across there, because after watching the World Championship road race on Sunday, the men's, the crowds, the atmosphere, the racing, it looked amazing. And I wish I could get across there and check out that pop-up store by Rafa over in Glasgow right now. So if you're across there, very lucky, check it out. If you haven't been there yet, don't know what you're doing, you've got to check that out. I love it. Now to this episode, the history of the Tour de France. Well, what I've done, it's a Talking Luft. I was roaming around the buses and I thought, well, I don't actually know that much about the race. And listening to Francois Thomazeau talk about it and learn myself, I thought, well, how much do these guys know, the riders in the race, about the Tour de France? So, of course, I went away and created a little quiz, and I roamed through the buses and I found a good array of different riders from different levels. Old director sportives, riders. I got to talk to Caleb Ewan from Lotto Destiny. You know him. He's a sprinter from Australia. Dion Smith from Intermarché Circus Wanty. Well, he's actually worn the polka dot jersey himself in the Tour de France. So I thought he'd be a good one to get. Matt Hayman, we all know him. He's the director at Jayco Alula these days. Ian Stannard, the Englishman, he's a director at Ineos these days as well. Jai Hindley, I got him, pulled him aside in the mix zone one day. Bora Hansgrohe, if you don't know who I'm talking about, I don't know what's going on. Juan Margarate, he's been on the podcast. He is one of my favorite DSs, if not the best director I had over my career. He's a director at EF Education Easy Post. Lawson Craddock, he's on there as well, a rider from Jayco Alula as well. Him and I were teammates at EF. Durbo, of course, I got Luke Durbridge. Neilson Powless from EF Education Easy Post, I got him as well. He was wearing the polka dot jersey when I had a chat to him. And a good old friend of mine, Simon Geschke, he's at Cofidis. He's in his 11th edition of the Tour de France. And if I couldn't trip him up in the quiz, he shouldn't have got tripped up in the quiz because he's ridden so many tours. And last but not least, I got Matt Stevens on. He was an old pro. He rode for a few years with Linda McCartney back in the day. But more currently, you're going to know him as a TV presenter and commentator on GCN and Eurosport. Surely he knows the tour. But one question I am getting asked outside of the Tour de France, and now that I'm back here in Australia, is there anything I've taken over from my pro life? And aside from my cycling legs and my riding ability, Yes, well, there's been one other thing, and that's AG1. AG1 was founded back in 2010 by the New Zealander Krish Ashenden, the current CEO of the company, as a way to make optimal performance and nutrition easy and convenient. And that's exactly what AG1 is. It provides a concentrated source of nutrients, it includes probiotics, and it is NSF certified for sport, which means it's been tested and approved to not contain unsafe levels of contaminants, prohibited substances, or masking agents. This is really important for professional athletes, as I'm sure you can imagine, to know 100% for sure what you're taking is clean from and free from any prohibited substances, something that you will stress about all the time. So to have this actual certified for sport is a massive plus. But look, these days I'm taking AG1 for general good health to help with consistent levels of energy in my daily life. Look, aside from that, I really enjoy the simple routine of a daily healthy habit that it gives me. Getting up in the morning, having AG1 first thing, and I'm ready to go. I really like how it gives me that foundation for the day. As I've said before, it's just about for everyone. Athletes, people like you and me, and everyone in between. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, the Athletic Greens is giving you a 1 free year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/lifeinthepeloton. That's drinkag1.com/lifeinthepeloton and check that out. Well, guys, lastly, just before we get into this episode, I'm running through a quiz with the guys. Like I said, 10 questions. Let's see how they shape up with their knowledge on the Tour de France, the race they supposedly should know when they're racing, or maybe they don't know. They probably don't care. They're just doing the race. Well, I cared how much they knew, and I wanted to test them here, well, back then at the Tour de France, roaming around the buses. I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you haven't heard that episode, get back and have a listen because I'll be testing you next time. Here, have a listen, guys, and enjoy. All right, Caleb, you've ridden the Tour 5 times. You should know the race pretty well. Let's see how well you know it. You ready?
Ready.
What year did the Tour de France start?
1901.
Oh, very close. 03. That was good, though. Very good. Who was the last French winner?
L'Enfant.
Close. He was second. His nickname was the Badger.
Shit, I don't actually even know.
Bernard Hinault, 1985. Who is the current race director?
Christian Prudhomme.
Well done, mate. What does ASO stand for?
No idea.
Who has won 5 Tour de France's? Name the riders who have done that.
Eddie Merckx.
Yep.
Bernard Hinault.
Well done. It's 2 more legitimate and 1 question mark one.
Shit. Damn. Does Lance count?
Yep, he's the question mark.
Yeah, but does he count? Is it 5 or more? Or is it just 5?
Well, just 5. 5 or more, yeah.
Alright. Shit, man, I don't know. Wait, let me... Indurain.
Well done, Indurain. Now, the last one's really hard. It's a Frenchie from way back when. The first guy to win 5.
Yeah, no idea.
Jacques Anquetil. When you get the yellow jersey, are you going to go don the full yellow? Nicks, socks, glasses, bike?
If I get the chance to wear the yellow jersey, it'll be all yellow. Everything.
What about when you get in the break and you get the KOM jersey? You're going to go full polka dots, glasses, gloves, everything?
Of course. Everything.
What's harder? Giro, Tour, or Vuelta?
Tour.
Biggest dick move in the bunch at the moment that you see someone doing and you're like, mate, why? Seriously?
When the GC guys are slipping into the early break.
Alejandro Valverde used to come back and he'd have a cold beer waiting for him on the bus. That was his recovery. Beer on the bus? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if it works for you, then yeah. Whatever works for you. Doesn't matter what it is.
All right, last question. If you could have anyone's legs in this year's Tour de France peloton, whose would they be?
Probably Vingegaard's, and I'd probably just ride in the Gruppetto anyway. It'd be super easy.
Dion Smith, this is your 3rd Tour de France. How well do you reckon you know the Tour?
Ooh, I'm getting close to veteran status, aren't I?
All right, then, let's test it out. Tour de France Talking Luft quiz. What year did the Tour de France start?
1912? 1910.
1903. Who was the last French winner of the Tour?
Henna.
What year?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll say 988.
Oh, very good, mate. 85. You're good. Very good. Not many people get that. Who's the current race director?
Pardon?
First name? I'll take that. Let's just leave it.
Take that.
What does ASO stand for?
Oh, Jesus. No, pass, mate.
Ormery Sport Organisation. Ormery is the family that owns the race. Who has won 5 Tour de France's? There's 5 winners who have won it 5 or more times.
I have to name one.
I name them all.
Froome?
No.
He's done 4, isn't he? Does Armstrong count?
Well, yeah, he's questionable, but well done.
Okay, Lance.
Oh, well, who else?
Merckx. Bloody hell, mate, I'm terrible, aren't I? This is bad.
The French guy you spoke about before.
Yeah, that one.
Who is it?
Yeah, that one. Bernard Hinault.
A Spaniard in the 90s.
And Duran.
And there was one other guy, a French guy, early on. Good-looking bloke.
Whoa. I should know this, but I don't.
Jacques Anquetil.
Of course.
When you get the yellow jersey, you're going to run the full yellow, nicks, socks, gloves, earrings, everything.
When I get it? Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What about when you get the polka dot jersey? You're going to go full Pierre Roland style, polka dot shorts, the same thing?
I already did that, mate. 2018.
Of course. Did you run everything?
Yeah, I think I did, yeah. Helmet, everything. Helmet, bibs.
Was it hard to get?
There was a team time trial, so I also had the TT suit, which was pretty cool.
Wild. What's harder then? Giro, Tour, or Vuelta?
Never done the Giro. Vuelta, I'll say the Tour.
Biggest dick move in the bunch right now where you're just like, seriously, mate, don't do that.
When a rider's on the left side of the peloton and they all of a sudden want to go to their feed zone or their bottle, they just put their arm out saying, I'm going right. That's probably one of the most annoying things in the moment.
Alejandro Valverde used to have beers waiting for him in the bus every day. That was a part of his recovery. Beers on the bus, yay or nay?
We've got beers in the fridge at the back, so I think, when we get deeper in the race, I might head back for a sneaky beverage.
That is brilliant. If you could have anyone's legs in this year's Tour de France peloton, who would they be?
Joe Hindley.
All right, Matt Hayman, how well do you know the Tour de France, mate?
Not very well at all.
Okay, you're going to struggle at this then. This is the Tour de France quiz. When did the Tour de France start?
Can I pass?
I can give you a clue.
1912.
The Centenary Tour was in 2003.
Where's the answers there?
We'll work it out. Centenary, 100 years old, 2003.
1903.
Well done. We got it. Who was the last French winner? Nickname the Badger.
Bernard Hinault.
What year? The year before.
77 or 8.
He did win then, I think, but that wasn't his last one. His last victory was the year before I was born.
79.
85. Who's the current race director?
Pardon.
What does ASO stand for?
Association of Not Giving the Other Teams Money.
Ormery Sport Organisation. Who has won 5 Tour de France's? Name them all.
Oh, how many are there? Start with Lance.
There you go.
Geez, I'm not very good at this, am I?
Well, you're a classics man. This is excusable.
Yeah. Let me go. Bernardino.
Well done.
I would say
the big Belgie, the biggest rider of all time.
Merckx.
The big Spaniard.
Miguel Indurain, but sure 5? Okay.
The only one to do 5 in a row.
There you go.
And the first person ever to do it is the last one.
Oh, we're going to go back. Is he French? Anquetil?
Well done. That was a good one. When you were riding and you got the yellow jersey in the Tour de France, would you have done the full yellow, everything? Nicks, helmet, glasses, gloves?
You know me and you know the answer to that.
No.
Thank you.
Okay then, this might be different. As you were popping over the climb and you got the polka dot jersey.
Yes, right, I'm with you.
Full nicks, glasses, gloves.
Yep, polka dots for sure.
What's harder, Giro, Tour, or Vuelta?
Oh, look, they're so different. The Tour's a big one. There's more stress. The competition is, we know everybody's here at their best. Anyone who's seen the course wants to be here at their best. The Giro has its demands, the lengths and things like that. And the Vuelta, you have to be a specialist rider to be that good at the end of the season. So I don't think you can really compare them, but this is the benchmark race.
Well, I am comparing them. Tell me.
Oh, you win the Tour, then then that's the one, isn't it?
What's the biggest dick move in the bunch right now? What's the move that you think someone's doing that you can see and you go, seriously, mate, don't do that?
I mean, I just roll my eyes when the road gets blocked at 70k to go. I say we should ban all the bottle points and make guys come back for bottles just to free up the road a bit.
Well, you may have heard about this. I'm sure you did. Alejandro Valverde used to have a beer on the bus and drink it after every stage. Beers on the bus after the stage, yay or nay?
Yay.
Last question. If you could have anyone's legs in this year's Tour de France peloton, whose would they be?
At the moment, I have to say Podgers or Luka Mesjeks.
Ian Stannard, are you ready for the Tour de France Talking Luft quiz?
We'll see, won't we?
All right, question 1. What year did the Tour de France start?
Oh, I have no idea.
I'll give you a clue. The Centenary Tour was in 2003.
Maths wasn't my strong point at school, eh?
Right, it's 1903.
1903, yeah.
Question 2. Who was the last French winner and what year?
You got some clues? Give us a hand it.
His nickname was the Badger.
Hino, was it?
And I think you're the same age as me. What year were you born?
87.
It was before you were born. 85.
85 was it?
Yeah, all right. This is an easier one. Question 3. The current race director of the Tour de France, what's his name?
Christian Prudhomme.
Well done. What does the race organisers ASO stand for?
Armory Sports Organisation.
Well done. That's a toughie. That's it. Hey, why don't we get the toughies? You're getting it. All right. Question 5. Who has won 5 Tour de France's overall?
Froome? No. Should have known that. 5 overall. I can't tell you.
Yeah. What about Merckx?
Merckx.
What about a Spaniard?
I'm not good with the cycling history, mate.
All right. You got Big Mig. You've got Anquetil. And Lance as well, if you want to claim, you want to claim that, but it's questionable.
Controversial, that one, isn't it? Yeah.
The next question is: would you wear the full yellow if you had the yellow jersey, yellow nicks, gloves, helmet, bike? What would you go for?
Oh yeah, you got to go for it.
When it comes to polka dots, the same?
Nah, a bit more discreet with the shorts, no.
So it's up to everyone's got their own style. So I would go full Pierre Roland, polka dot nicks, everything. Just bring it on. Question 8. What's harder, Giro, Tour or Vuelta?
They're all unique in their own way, aren't they? I think Tour's harder with all the media and the stress around it, but Vuelta throws some crazy climbs at you as well, so...
Make a call.
Style at the Vuelta's way harder.
Totally. Well, good call. I like it. Question 9. What's the biggest move in the bunch from riders that pisses you off?
When they just chop and don't look. Straight across the road, don't look behind them, cause chaos. You're going to tell me I did that now, aren't you?
Well, yeah. No.
All the time.
Question 10. There was a famous, I don't know if it's a myth or whatever it is, but every day Valverde came back and there was a cold beer waiting for him in the bus and he had a cold beer for recovery. Beers on the bus, opinion.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? Nice cold beer, feet up, travel to the hotel.
Last question. If you could have anyone's legs in the peloton at this year's tour, whose would they be?
Podgers looks like he's having a great time, doesn't he? Imagine riding your bike that easy and enjoying it and smiling. Mega.
All right, Jai Hindley, how well do you know the Tour de France, mate? You ready for the quiz?
Yeah, hit me with it.
What year did the Tour de France start?
1903.
Who was the last French winner? What year?
I'm not good with years. In the 83?
Well, close, 85. Who's the current race director?
Christophe Prudhomme.
Well done. What does ASO stand for?
Association Sport Organisation.
Not bad, but it's Omery, like the Omery family. Who has won 5 Tour de France's? Who are the guys?
Merckx, Anquetil.
Wow.
And Indurain.
And the questionable one?
Big Lance, mate.
Well done. Full yellow. I already know the answers to this. clearly you wear the full yellow nicks, all black, everything. Or maybe that you didn't want to do that. When you get the yellow jersey, you wanted to be full yellow?
Actually, I don't know. I thought the full... But I had the suit, so... I thought the suit was good. I don't know. Not very low-key, but I enjoyed it.
What about when you get the polka dot jersey? You're going to run the full polka dots everywhere?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think polka dot shorts is... it's pretty outlandish, but it's pretty sick, I reckon. Yeah.
What's harder, Giro, Tour, or Vuelta?
All three hard. Oh, mate. I mean, probably the stress of the Tour is unrivaled. Maybe the Giro harder on paper. I don't know. It's hard to say. And then the Vuelta.
Pick one. Just pick one.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I think the Tour.
Biggest dick move in the bunch. When you just look around, you go like, seriously, guys, what are you doing?
Attacking on a descent.
Valverde used to have a beer on the bus every day. Beer on the bus, yay or nay?
Nah, mate, protein yogurt. Nah, I'm a good boy. Yeah, plain pasta or rice. You can't beat the classics.
Last question. If you could have anyone else's legs in this year's Tour de France peloton, whose would they be?
Not mine. Yeah, Boggs. I reckon Boggs looking pretty good for it.
Juan Margarate, now Director Sportif on the Tour de France debut, but you rode many Tour de France's. How many do you think?
As a rider, 26. Yeah, 26.
No, the Grand Tours, but Tour de France.
I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, as a Diaz is the first one. As a rider, honestly, I don't know if I did. I don't know. I need to look in Wikipedia.
All right, well, let's see how good you go on the Tour de France quiz. You're a pretty smart guy. What year did the Tour de France start?
104 years ago. 1909.
1903. Who was the last French winner of the Tour de France?
Bernard Hinault.
What year?
89.
85. That was good, though. Who is the current race director?
Thierry Gouvenou.
Christian Prudhomme.
I mean, yeah, okay, but the technical sports director is Gouvenou. Yeah, of course, Christian Prudhomme. Yes, of course. Yeah.
What does ASO stand for?
Maori Sports Association.
Well done. That's a hard one. There are 5 riders who have won the Tour de France 5 times or more. Who are these riders?
Eddy Merckx, Bernard Hinault, Miguel Indurain, Lance Armstrong, 4, I have it.
It was the first person to do it.
Yeah. I don't have that one.
Good looking guy.
Oh, man.
French man.
Oh, man. Now you are going deep. Anquetil, sorry. Yes, of course. Yes.
If you had the yellow jersey, would you wear the full yellow, shorts, socks, glasses, everything, or would you be more traditional?
At this time, full kit.
What about the polka dot jersey?
Black shorts.
The biggest move in the bunch, the biggest dick move in the bunch that you see, where you see someone do it and you say, seriously, mate, why are you doing that? What is it?
Even if it's good or bad, when a rider is attacking in the gruppetto.
That's a good call. Alejandro Valverde supposedly had a beer waiting for him in the bus every day. What do you think? Beer in the bus, yes or no?
No.
If you could have anyone's legs in the peloton, whose legs would they be from this year's Tour de France?
I just would like to have Vingegaard's legs for just a few hours, one day in my life.
Lawson Craddock, let's see how well you know the Tour de France. You ready?
Probably not that well, but let's give it a shot.
What year did the Tour de France start?
1903.
Oh yeah, well done. Who was the last French winner?
Bernard Hinault.
What year?
89.
Very good, 85, but very good already. Who is the current race director?
Prudhomme.
What does ASO stand for?
Maori Sports Organization.
Oh my gosh, you're doing so well. Who are the guys who have won the Tour de France 5 times?
Indurain, Merckx, Lance. God, there's one more. Who's the other one?
Anquetil and Hinault.
Yeah.
If you get the yellow jersey, you're going to wear full yellow or you're going to go black, traditional?
Full yellow. Are you kidding me?
What's harder, Giro, Tour, or Vuelta?
Mentally the Tour, physically the Vuelta, and actually the Giro.
What's the biggest dick move in the bunch at the moment? Where you go, seriously, guys?
When you're coming up the side of the Peloton with bottles, yelling service, and not one guy lets you through.
Beers on the bus. Valverde used to always have a can waiting for him. Yes or no?
100% yes.
And lastly, if you could have anyone's legs in this year's Tour de France Peloton, who would they be?
Like aesthetically, like how they look. Oh man, I don't know. Probably just Pogacar's. Let's be honest. Every day would be easy.
All right, Durbo, here we go. I've created a new Talking Luft. Would you believe it? This is the Tour de France quiz. How much do you know about the Tour?
Yeah, quite a bit, yeah.
All right, let's start. Question 1. What year did the Tour de France start?
1901?
No. Think about it. The Centenary Tour was in 2003.
No, 1903.
Well done. Who was the last French winner?
You know?
What year?
Late.
Year before I was born.
Oh, shit. Early 80s then, no?
85. Who is the current race director?
Bredon.
What does ASO stand for?
I have no idea. Sorry?
It's the Amore Sports Organisation. Amore is the family that owns the race. Who has won 5 Tour de France's? Name them.
Eddie Merckx. Miguel Indurain. We've got Lance Armstrong.
You can count it, yep.
Yeah. We got Christopher. No, 4. Hino.
Well done.
And
pretty good looking guy. The first guy to do it.
Pretty good looking guy, first guy to do it. I said Merckx. Pre-Merckx then. Shit. I'm going to struggle with this one.
Jacques Anquetil. Full yellow. If you get the yellow jersey, do you wear the full yellow? Gloves, nicks, helmet, glasses, wheels, spokes. Are you a yellow man?
Everything, yeah. If I was to get it, everything.
What about the polka dot? You going to go Pierre Rolland style?
Yeah, I think every time you get the jersey, you wear full.
What's harder, Giro, Tour, Vuelta?
Tour.
Why?
The whole show. Stress, everything. I don't think physically it's as hard, but just the whole thing is harder, yeah.
Biggest dick move in the bunch right now that someone does? What's the thing that pisses you off right now that people do? You're like, mate, seriously.
I would say there's 2 things. There's the drag race with about 60k to go for no reason. Like, that's just pointless. I don't understand that. And probably what the Belgians did yesterday, yeah. The Belgian attack, just for no reason, just to stitch everyone up.
We all know that Alejandro Valverde used to have a cheeky beer waiting for him in the bus fridge every day as his recovery. Beers on the bus, your opinion?
Oh, that would be great. I don't think it happens anymore, though.
If you could have anyone's legs in the Tour de France Peloton this year, whose legs would you want?
Oh, simple. Pogacar's.
Neilson Powless, you're in the Tour de France. How much of this race do you really know? You ready for the Talking Luft Tour de France quiz?
I'm going to fail this so bad.
Question 1. What year did the Tour de France start?
1903.
Well done. Yes. Who was the first French winner? And if so, in what year?
Oh, man.
Sorry, the last French winner. The last French winner.
The last French winner. Oh, my gosh.
Need a clue?
Sure.
Nickname the Badger.
Oh, really? He was. All right.
What year?
1985.
Oh, he's got it. Well done. Really? Good comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Who is the current race director? Who runs the race? The guy who's got the red flag in the car at the neutral zone.
Oh, God. Don't put this online. I know his name. It's coming back to me.
First name Christian.
Prudhomme.
Well done.
There it is.
What does ASO stand for?
Athlete, support, organization.
Ormery Sport Organisation. Ormery is the family that owns the race.
Okay.
Who has won 5 Tour de France's?
Chris Froome?
No.
Hino
has won.
Oh, multiple people. Wow. Did Merckx win it? Merckx? Eddie Merckx?
Correct.
Yeah.
Got 2 more.
Really?
Well, questionably 3 more, but
Man.
there was one in the 90s.
In the 90s.
Spanish.
Oh, Contador. Was that a questionable one?
All right, Miguel Indurain,
All right.
Lance Armstrong, but way back when was Jacques Anquetil.
Yeah, okay.
All right, question 6, couple more. If you get the yellow jersey, would you don the full yellow? Yellow helmet, nicks, gloves, everything.
Oh, even if it was just for one day, I would, yellow everything. I'd paint my chest yellow.
An appropriate question for you, when you get the polka dot jersey, or when you're wearing the polka dot jersey, do you don the full polka dots, Pierre Roland style, nicks, gloves, glasses?
If they make it for me, I would gladly wear it.
What's harder, Giro, Tour, or Vuelta?
I've only done the Tour and Vuelta, but so far the Tour is harder.
The biggest dick move in the bunch that you're seeing at the moment, what is one move in the bunch that you're just like, this does not fly with me, by the riders I'm talking about?
Probably chucking a bottle at a curb and bouncing it back into the peloton.
Alejandro Valverde, notoriously had 1 can of beer in the fridge and he'd have it every day after he got in the bus. Beer in the bus, yay or nay?
I wish, but no.
Well, would you like it? I'm more like.
Yeah.
Last question. If you could have anyone's legs in this year's Tour de France peloton, whose legs would they be?
Just purely physique or power? What do you think?
Wow, maybe you just want aesthetically. What you
aesthetics?
like? Yeah, okay, let's go with that angle.
Aesthetics, Luis Leon Sanchez has got probably the most ripped legs in the peloton. And probably, from a power standpoint, Pogacar. I mean, I think that's everyone's answer.
All right, Simon Geschke, you are an absolute veteran of the race now. How well do you know the Tour de France, you think?
How good I know the Tour de France? Well, not. I think it's there are 2 types of riders: the debutants that don't know the Tour, and then I think once you did the Tour, you don't get to know the Tour any better if you do it 11 or 2 times.
All right, I've got the quiz then. Are you ready? What year did the Tour de France start?
Wow. 1905.
Oh, so close. 1903. Who was the last French winner and what year?
Last French winner was Laurent Fignon, 89.
Bernard Hinault, 85. Who is the current race director?
Christian Prudhomme.
Well done. What does ASO stand for?
Amaury Sports Organization.
Well done. That's a toughie. Who has won and who are the guys who have won the Tour de France 5 times or more?
Eddie Merckx. Then you have Miguel Indurain. You have Lance Armstrong, official or unofficial. Bernard Hinault, also.
The guy who did it first time.
I thought it was Eddie Merckx, but if it's a Frenchman, it should be Anquetil.
When you're in the yellow jersey, are you running the full yellow shorts, everything, gloves, glasses, or are you just going to keep it traditional?
Traditional.
What about the polka dots?
Traditional.
What's harder, Giro, Tour, or Vuelta?
Oh, it's hard to say. I think you can suffer on all 3 of them, but I'd say the Tour is most of the time the race with the highest level.
The biggest dick move in the bunch at the moment, when you see some guy, you're like, seriously, mate, what are you doing? What is that move?
Oh, hard to choose. I'd say yelling service with just 1 bottle in your neck that you took out of your own bottle cage. I saw that happening before, so that's a dick move.
Alejandro Valverde typically had 1 beer waiting for him in the fridge every day after the stage. Beers on the bus, yay or nay?
Yay.
The last question, if you could have anyone's legs in this year's Tour de France peloton, whose legs would they be?
Wout van Aert, because he's the most versatile. I think he also suffers, but he suffers less on any terrain. Sometimes as a climber they say, oh yeah, it's easy for you, but no one asks me when there's crosswinds or on the flat when you try to follow wheels. So Wout van Aert definitely.
Matt Preston, now, how well do you know the Tour de France, do you think?
I know the Tour. I've never ridden it, but I know it pretty well because I've done about 10 now.
Okay, are you ready for the quiz then?
Oh, blimey. Oh, no. Well, you go on.
All right, question 1. What year did the Tour de France start?
Oh, bloody hell. 1908, 6, 4, 3.
1903, he got there in the end. Well done. Just had to think about it. I knew you were going to get there. Who was the last French winner?
Bernard Hinault.
What year?
1985.
Oh, nice. He's on it. Who is the current race director?
Prudhomme.
First name?
Bloody hell. Monsieur. What's his first name? Christian Prudhomme. I was going to say Christophe, of course. I'll just call him Prudy because we're obviously on second name terms. A message to you, Prudy. It was a song by UB40 in 1981 about Christian Prudhomme and his youth.
What does ASO stand for?
Armory Society. Armory Sports Organisation.
Well done. Name the riders who have won 5 Tour de France's.
Bernard Hinault, Jacques Anquetil, Eddie Merckx, Miguel Indurain. There's one more, isn't there? Or is that it? That's it.
The last one's questionable.
Oh, in Lance.
Well done.
Yeah.
If you could have ridden the Tour de France and if you could have got the yellow jersey, would you have gone the full yellow? Yellow nicks, gloves, glasses, helmet, bike, everything?
That's a brilliant question. No, I'd have gone black shorts. I probably would have gone yellow mitts, yellow helmet, obviously yellow jersey, but black shorts. I wouldn't have gone yellow shorts. Even for the TT, I'd have insisted that I had black shorts.
Nice, traditional. Okay, now when it comes to polka dots though, and you skipped over one of those mountains, would you have gone the full Pierre Roland, polka dots everything, or stay traditional?
No, I think if I'd have ultimately... So there's 2 answers to this one, Mitch. First up, in the race, I'd have worn black shorts, okay, and polka dots. With a bit of maybe polka dot socks just for a bit of playfulness. After party, if I'd have won, I'd have worn the complete polka dot skin suit and just got down with it.
Full chippo, like full long sleeve leg, long leg, long arm skin suit.
Totally, at the disco, yeah.
What do you think's harder, the Giro, the Tour, or the Vuelta, in your opinion?
This year's Tour's been, generally speaking, most people say the Giro, don't they? Because of its unpredictable parkour, attritional weather. But I said this to somebody before the race. This year's Tour feels like it's learned a bit from the Giro. It feels really Giro-y, with like mountains early on, very difficult stages, no real rhythm to it, and I love it. So this year's Tour is reminiscent of a classic Giro parkour, I think, and I think it's only a good thing.
So what's the hardest one?
Yeah, I waffled on then, didn't I, at the Giro?
What do you think is the biggest dick move in the bunch? That one move that you're watching and you go, oh guys, seriously, what are you doing that for?
It's that little move up the inside on the grass when the break's got 3.5 minutes.
You may have heard this rumour. Alejandro Valverde used to get on the bus and there was always a cold beer waiting for him. That was part of his recovery routine. Yeah. Beers on the bus, yay or nay?
Back in the day, the monks used to just drink beer all the time because the water was impure, wasn't it? And that's why one of the reasons they only lived to 35. But Valverde has lived to beyond 40, which is good news. So clearly it works for him. But yeah, just a little cheeky stubby in a cooler. Neck that. It's great, great isotonic qualities to beer. So it's a yay.
Last question: if you could have anyone's legs in this year's Peloton, Tour de France Peloton, whose would they be?
Ooh, Tade's right now. He just feels like he's warming up. He's training himself into this race, I think. Came in fresh, a little bit undercooked, but yeah, I'd want his legs because they're probably the only legs that can probably just get stronger and stronger as we head deeper into this race. So yeah, the legs of Tadej. I think I'm probably not the only person to have said that.
Well, how'd you go? Did you get any of the questions right? What did you think of the guys? I thought some of their knowledge was pretty good, actually. All things considered, I thought they were going to do a lot worse than that. Well, maybe the questions were a little bit too easy. I don't know. I thought I had fun anyway talking to those guys. Thanks for listening. This was Talking Luft, of course. Next week, I'll have another episode for you at Life in the Peloton. A big thanks goes out to Will Jones, who pieces these together. There is a lot more work in it than you can imagine, so thank you for him behind the scenes, making these episodes sound as good as they do. The Life in the Peloton team, Meg and Spurlo, but of course, our partner, Rafa, and of course, you guys. Can't forget about the listeners. Until next week, guys, thanks for listening, and I want to hear your feedback, so send it on in. So until then, cheers.
The music in this episode was composed by Pete Shelley. Cheers, mate.